Hello everyone, welcome to the next lab of ECE 270 Embedded Logic Design. In all the labs till last week, we discussed about the Verilog coding, design of combinational circuit using the Verilog, design of sequential circuit using the Verilog, implementation on FPGA, and onboard verification. We also discussed how to use the clock IP, FFT IP, and implement the same on the FPGA. So the discussion till now was focused on how to map any algorithms on the FPGA using the Verilog. In the second part of the ELD course, we will be moving from the just a regular FPGA chip to the SoC chip, that is the system on chip. So from this lab onwards, we will be moving to the Zinc SoC, where SoC stands for the system on chip. The details about the Zinc SoC, the architecture of the Zinc SoC will be covered during the lecture. Some part is already covered during the previous lecture. So the Zinc SoC, as you can see in the diagram, it consists of two parts. One is the ARM processor. It's a dual core ARM processor. Cortex A9 is the name of the processor, and the FPGA. So you can see that on a single chip, you have the processor and FPGA. This ARM processor is also called as a PS, that is a processing system, and this is called as a PL, that is the programmable logic. Now, in this system, you can see that the communication between the ARM and the FPGA happens via the AXI interface. And this is the reason we are studying the AXI interface in the lecture. Now, inside the ARM processor, you can see that you have the peripheral interface to the outside world. So this can be a UART interface, it can be a USB interface, it can be a SD card interface, or it can be a Ethernet interface, and so on. It can be a GPIO, general purpose input output interface. And this is the memory interface. So this is your DDR memory can be used. Inside the memory, you can store your data. You can store the data, as well as you can store the program which is to be executed by this ARM processor. You might have already studied in the computer organization course that for any processor, the program is converted into the set of instructions, and the processor reads one instruction, decodes the instruction, and executes the instruction. So similarly here, you will be writing the code in the C, C++ for the processor. The tool will convert this code to the set of instruction, and the processor will execute this set of instruction one after the another. So here you can see that you need to do the two tasks. The first task is that you need to program the FPGA depending upon what logic you want to implement the FPGA on the FPGA. So this can be done using the Verilog, VHDL. We can also use C, C++, but this is not a part of this course. And the second is that you need to program the processor. And this we are doing it using the C, C++. So as you know, when you program the FPGA, this is converted into the bit stream, and then it is used to configure the FPGA. And when you program the processor, this C, C++ is converted to the ELF file, and this is used to configure your processor. Okay, so you need to do the two tasks. So in this lab, we won't be doing anything related to the FPGA. We'll be focusing on only the writing the basic simple C++ code and programming the processor. Okay, so from all this lab, all the labs hereafter, we'll be working on the system on chip, which consists of the processing system, that is the ARM processor, and the programmable logic, that is the FPGA. So this Zinc SoC is not just an ordinary FPGA. It is not the ordinary microprocessor. It is a blend of the two technology with the powerful AXI interconnect. What is the need of such Zinc SoC? What are the advantages of Zinc SoC? What are the applications of the Zinc SoC? How you implement any algorithm on the Zinc SoC? Everything is covered during the lecture. Okay, so from last week onwards, we have already started discussing on the AXI interface, and the rest of the details will be covered in the subsequent lectures. Also, you can see that here your algorithm will be break down into the two parts. Some part of the algorithm will be implemented on processing system, and some part of the algorithm will be on implementing on the FPGA. So usually this processing system is also a processor, or it is also called as a software, and the FPGA is called as a hardware. So your algorithm is divided into the software as well as hardware, and this is also called as a hardware software co-design. So what are the unique features of the hardware software co-design? How you can efficiently implement the algorithms on the hardware software co-design? You will be briefly discussed, you will be briefly introduced during the lectures. And if you want to know more about this, you can take the advanced level course, which is the AELD, Advanced Embedded Logic Design. So coming back to the Zinc SoC, it's a unique blend of two technology with the powerful AXI interconnect. So in the Zinc SoC, you use the ARM processor, which is the dual core Cortex A9 processor, which is the application grade processor. It has been used in your mobile phones, in your tablets around 2008 to 2012 duration. So it has been used in the real mobile phones as well as the tablet, and it can run completely operating system like Linux on its own. Okay, so if you want, you can implement a completely operating system on the Cortex A9 processor using this approach we will be discussing during the lab. But in this course, we will not be implementing the operating system, but we will be implementing the simple standalone system. So standalone means it is just designed to perform the one particular task by using the simple C++ code we will be writing. And FPGA is the same as the FPGA we have discussed during the lecture as well as previous lab. It's a 7-series FPGA architecture. Now to implement any algorithms on the FPGA, again you need to, on the SoC, you need to follow the proper design flow similar to the FPGA. So what is this design flow? You need to understand the application requirement, specification. Then you need to divide your algorithm between the hardware and the software. For the hardware part, you will write the code using the Verilog, VHDL, or you use the IP. For the software part, you will write the code using the C, C++, and then you will do the integration of the hardware and software and get it working on the Zinc SoC board. Okay, so you can see that you have the PS, which is the ARM processor, PL, which is FPGA. You will do the using the Verilog. You will program this using the C++. You will need to program the AXI interface to get the code running on the hardware. On the PS, you can implement the normal standalone system, which is the normal C++ code, or you can implement the OS operating system such as Linux. Now, as we discussed before, in the PS, you have the ARM processor and you have the memory connected to the ARM processor. Similarly, you also have the different peripherals like UART, Ethernet, and so on. So for the ARM processor to communicate with the memory, to communicate with the peripherals, you need a drivers. And the good news is that in Vivado, all these drivers are readily available. They are automatically generated and provided to you. Only thing you need to understand is how to use these drivers. Okay, that is the only thing you need to learn. But you don't need to write any drivers. You don't need to write any code for the drivers. All the drivers are there for UART, for memory. You just need to understand how to make use of this driver. Okay, so whenever you do the hardware software co-design, again, you need to do the hardware based system, which you do in the Vivado to implement anything on the hardware. Okay, you need to decide among the peripherals like UART, SD card, which are the peripherals to be activated, which are the peripherals you don't want, so can be disabled. So you decide. Then you, the part which is to be implemented on the FPGA, you convert into the bit stream and generate the bit stream. Then for the parts you have enabled like Ethernet, SD card, UART, whichever you want to use, you have enabled it. For that, you generate a board support package, which has the all the drivers. Then if you are using the operating system and you are writing the software application on the top of the application operating system, you need to do follow this approach. But in our course, we are not using the operating system. We are following the standalone approach. So we are using the standalone code. We will be directly communicating with the hard driver, and this driver will communicate with the hardware-based system. So the board support package, it's a set of low-level drivers and functions that are used by the next layer, that is your operating system or software application or your standalone code to communicate with the hardware. Software application or any Ubuntu or any operating system, you write application on the top of the operating system. So these applications run on the top of operating system. They replace the uppermost layer in the software stack. But in the ELD, we are not going to use the operating system, so we are not going to discuss much about the software application. Inside the to configure the Zinc SoC, you need a Vivado to configure the hardware-based system, and you need a software development kit SDK to program your processor using the C++ code and then convert that C++ code into the ELM. So software development kit provides the environment for creating the BSPs and developing the testing the software for deployment in the upper layers. BSP includes the drivers, low-level operating system function, and it should be refreshed whenever the changes are made into the hardware-based system. So whenever you make changes, any changes in the hardware system, make sure that you regenerate the BSP in your SDK. Okay. So during the subsequent lab, we will highlight this point in more detail, but you make sure that whenever you switch from Vivado to SDK, and when you go back to the Vivado and change something in the Vivado, you should refresh all the files in the SDK. As you know that we are generating the ELF files to program the PS, that is the ARM processor, and bit file to program the PL. In some cases, you may not need a bit stream because you are not using the FPGA, while in some cases, you don't need a ELF file because you are not using the ARM processor. For example, till now, you are using only the FPGA, so you are generating only the bit stream. But now next, in the today's lab, you will be only using the PS, so you will be needing only the ELF files. But in the subsequent labs, you will need PS as well as PL, so you will need to generate the bit stream as well as the ELF file. So if only one part of the Zinc device is used, then only corresponding file is needed. Okay, so in this lab, the main motivation or objective of this lab is to introduce you to the tool called as SDK. To introduce you to explain how you can write the C++ code, and then do the basic arithmetic operation in the using the C++ code, how to debug the code, And then at the end, we'll just write a simple code for performing the 8.50 and execute the code on the ARM processor. Okay, so in the next video, we'll discuss about the lab part in more detail.